MAC layer, RLC layer, and PDCP and RRC. These are the radio protocols. So these protocols will be available in the eNode B, and what I said, eNode B does not have core network protocol, so no NAS here. NAS will be available in the MME. MME will have the NAS. So UE NAS will communicate with the MME NAS. This is core network protocol of mobiles. So that will communicate with the core network. Core network, which element? It is the MME. So with the MME, your UE NAS will have the signaling exchange. These radio protocol RRC, PDCP, RLC, MAC physical in the eNode B, so that your mobile RRC will communicate with the eNode B RRC. PDCP is peer-to-peer, same layer communications. But again, I'm repeating. Already I said so many times, so now I'm not showing layer to layer. Directly they cannot communicate. Again, the information will pass like this only. All the layers will add their own header, as I said in the last two class, and then at last in receiver side, each corresponding layer will remove that header. Already I said in 2 times, 3 times we give you that example. So if I'm showing peer-to-peer communication, your UE RRC is communicating with the eNode B RRC, but this is not direct communications. First of all, whatever your higher layer informations, suppose for example, your RRC layer is creating some signaling, say RRC connection request message, paging message, reconfiguration message, broadcast message, any message, whatever message, whether it's an uplink RRC or downlink RRC. For example, if you're getting the call, so network will send the paging message. That is the downlink message. Means eNode B RRC create that paging message that will come like this from RRC to PDCP, RLC, MAC, physical. Because at last it's a physical layer job who will transmit all the higher layer information over the air interface. Between the mobile or eNode B, this is air interface. So over air interface, it is the physical layer who will transmit their higher layer information. Next, then this protocol stack is the wireless software. Once you insert any SIM card to your motherboard of your UE, so how the protocol stack, this protocol stack means you have the chipset, your motherboard of the handset, how that chipset is communicating with your SIM card. Is definitely the some layer, there must be some layer in your protocol stack which is communicating with the SIM card. So that is the NAS layer which is having the direct communication with your SIM card. That is called the universal SIM. So NAS layer is having the SIM manager library. The video also. What video? Video means which layer to link? Radio means which layer to link? Please, you can be a specific? I'm not understanding question. Radio side means what? Any layers, whatever, see, whenever any peer-to-peer communications, whenever layer-to-layer information will transmit, definitely each layer will add their header. Without adding their own information, the header means here I'm telling their functionality. Whatever that layer functionality, without performing their functionality, they cannot pass their information to any layer next peer entity. That is the use of layers, no? Because each layer is having the some functionality, some layer will perform the error correction, some layer will segment the packet, some layer will forward the packets. Each layer having the different tasks. So without processing through each layers, without processing the functionality of those layers over the packets what you are transmitting, it cannot be transmitted over any interface. Forget about radio means it's not network side. Radio means radio interface means your mobile to eNodeB. But in network side, whatever interface, whether it's S1 MME, S1U, whatever interface, but definitely each layer will perform their own functionality. Then only information will be processed and it will transmit to the next entity. So NAS layer will communicate with your SIM card. How? NAS is having the SIM manager library file. Why I'm telling? Because this architecture, keep in mind, one time this question have been asked, they did not ask this question directly. What question they asked? When we insert the SIM card, or how mobile is knowing? We inserted this SIM card in slot, first slot or second slot. If you have the dual SIM cards handset, then how mobile is knowing? Usually there must be some programmer so that there should be some communications. When we insert the SIM card in slot 1 or slot 2 and mobile is properly knowing that SIM card is set in this particular slot. So you can say it is a NAS layer which is having communication with the SIM card through SIM manager library files. Then RRC layer is having the ASN.1 compiler. ASN.1 means what? It's an abstract syntax notation 1. For the ASN.1. So whenever in future, because right now we cannot understand the logs, but in future we'll show you whatever the RRC messages, we'll see. Suppose so if you see any layer 3 messages and their logs, etc. So whatever message will open, suppose your RRC, your SIB message, paging message, RRC cancel request message, any message, in every message there is structure. We'll start from ASN1 start, so ASN1 stop. That is their logs completed. Again, if you go for any other message, forget about system function. Now I'm showing some new message. See, ASN1 start, ASN1 stop. For any new, whatever the new message is, their structure will be, when future, when I'll discuss the tools, that I will understand, if their explanation, their complete element, whatever the element within that message will be explained in the terms of the ASN1 format. So what is the ASN1? That is actually ASN1 is compiler that will be implemented in your RRC layer. That will be embedded in your RRC layer so that they can understand your standard message. Every message, suppose for example, you may be aware with the paging message, for example. So for example, कोई मैसेज डालो, any message. See, for paging channel, ASN start, ASN stop. If you want to see the content of paging message, see the paging message logs. ASN start, and when this logs will complete, they will say ASN stop. So this message structure, each message, this is structure, this is showing it within the paging message. what are the information element will be available. This is standard because whatever tools in industry, whatever chipset, anywhere in the world. That's why during the demo, if you remember, I have shown you few jobs in China, few jobs in US. Anywhere jobs coming in the protocol stack, but they definitely ask the 3GPP standard. This is 3GPP specification. So this is standard log. So any message logs you will see in that written in the ASN format. So if we have to analyze these logs without having the concept of ASN1 compiler, we cannot decode. So where exactly ASN compiling the protocol stack architecture is implemented in the RRC layer. Right now I'm not teaching the ASN1 compiler, that will teach when the tools will start. But one thing understand, I'm in the terms of design of your protocol stack, the ASN1 compiler will be implemented in the RRC layer so that just now I have shown in the specifications, whatever the RRC message structure, whatever RRC message will transmit from mobile to eNode B or eNode B to mobile, that message is in the ASN.1 format, so they can understand that this compiler, if it will be there, then only they can understand the ASN1 format message. So that ASN.1 compiler will be implemented in RRC layer. And please write your diagram because this thing you will not see in Google or anywhere in the book. If I give the book, even in the book, they will show the layers, but they did not show in NAS will have the same manager library file. NAS will communicate with the SIM card. ASN.1 compiler, no book will discuss. So you will remember ASN.1 will be your RRC layer. Now, now in the NAS and RRC layer, as I said, this is completely in control plane. These layers will create the RRC messages or NAS message. So these layers will create L3 messages, only signaling. Then PDCP would be the first layer who will transmit or receive the IP packet. So how the information will be transmitted from the higher layer to lower layer? Say, suppose for example, I want to show you one thing here. Just now we have seen paging message, because I'm telling you every time paging message right now, because till now we did not teach you any channel. So paging the simplest message to explain right now. So that's I'm using for every example paging message. Once I complete the channel, we'll see all the different RFC message. So you know paging message used in downlink direction. If network has to inform the UE about any incoming call for your mobile or any incoming call data, then first of all network is sending the paging message. Means paging is a procedure through which network can inform your UE about incoming call or data. That's the reason you may have observed, if you keep your mobile in front of your television or any other electronic devices, just before your mobile is ringing, if any incoming call is coming, just before ringing, your mobile will start fluctuation. Sorry, yeah, this your television will see the some fluctuation is coming. Why? Because just before ringing, your mobile will receive the paging message. Due to that, only fluctuation start. What this paging message is coming at different frequency. Your mobile, your television is their set-top box is operating at different frequency. That's why this fluctuation you may observe. So paging is a procedure through which network will inform the UE about incoming call or data. So obviously network means eNode B. There will be some layer, na? There would be some layer which functionality is to transmit the paging message. So who is that? That is the RRC layer. It's an eNode B it is the RRC layer who will create the paging message. So network this is the RRC layer job, means this E node will transmit the RRC paging message. So this paging message again is a peer-to-peer communication. It should be transmitted to the UERRC. Peer-to-peer communication. E node B RRC has created the paging message. Suppose this is your E node B. E node B created the RRC paging. So peer-to-peer communications, it will transmit to the your UERRC. But as I said, directly it cannot transmit. First your E node B RRC will create the paging message, so it will transmit down to the layer. First of all, it will process to the E node B side. So this RRC paging message will be transmitted to PDCP layer. The PDCP will control plane, user plane both. So in control plane, what PDCP will do? It will receive the higher layer message. This NAS layer create any message, RRC layer create any message. So that message now, it will go to PDCP layer. Then PDCP layer will transmit to RLC layer. Then RLC will transmit to the MAC layer. Then MAC layer will transmit to the physical layer. Actually, next 6-7 class will understand the flow of your information, how it's coming from higher layer to lower layer. I'm just giving right now idea. In next 6-7 class, what will be the target your course? That we have to understand the flow of information, how your information, the protocols are coming from higher layer to lower layer. So now RRC will transmit to the PDCP, PDCP to RLC, RLC to MAC, MAC to physical. Then here for paging I'm telling. Then now again same story. Each layer will perform their own functionality. Then along with this paging message, each layer functionality will be added, that is there is a header, and then it will transmit received by the your UE physical layer. Then corresponding, as I said in last 2 class, corresponding each layer will receive, remove their information, and then at last paging will be left, and your RRC will at last receive the paging message. For example, in future I'll teach you about the channel. So you will see how this information will coming from higher layer to lower layer. So for that we have the 2 parameters here, how the information will flow from higher layer to lower layer. For that we have to understand the concept of radio bearer and channel. By using radio bearers and channel, your higher layer information will be transmitted to the layer. So between your RRC and NAS, there will be radio bearer. Between RRC and PDCP, there will be radio bearer to which your information will transmit. Then PDCP to RLC, because now till here NAS to RRC, RRC to PDCP, only signaling was coming, but from PDCP to RLC, PDCP RLC belongs to both plane, control and user both. So signaling information, whatever the higher layer signaling, suppose just now we have seen the paging message, but same time suppose your mobile receives some IP packets as well, user data. So data should be transmitted in data plane, user plane, signaling should transmit signaling plane. So there must be some bearers in signaling plane and user plane. In signaling plane, bearers will carry the higher layer signaling information. In user plane, bearer will carry the user packets to the RLC. Then it's a design from RLC to the MAC and MAC to the physical. And then one entity physical layer to another entity physical layer. And suppose mobile physical to the eNode V physical or eNode physical to the mobile physical. Here again you will have same story, MAC, RLC, PTC, RLC. So in LT, there are three types of channel: logical channel, transport channel, physical channel. So between RLC to the MAC, the information, whether it's a signaling or user traffic, is transmitted through the logical channel. So between RLC to MAC, there is logical channel. Between MAC and physical layer, there is transport channel. And over the air interface, mobile physical to eNode physical, or if it is downlink information, eNode physical to mobile physical, the information will transmit over the physical channel. Same story here, MAC to physical, transport channel, logical channel, then you have bearers, eNode does not necessary. So this design, you please, right now I'm not teaching the channels. Channels will come after this protocol stack architecture concept. I just in the architecture, I'm pointing out everything in the architecture. What are the channels? What are the bearer between which layers are there? So just I'm right now creating the. Yes, it will be same. So now all these channels and the bearers I'm writing here. Then again we'll see the all different types of channel in detail. So what we understand, they are radio bearers and the channels. These will be used to carry your higher layer information to the lower layer. So in radio bearer, we have to right now first of all understand what are the different types of radio bearer. So please remember in LT, there are total 11 radio bearers. Total 11 radio bearers in LT. Please remember in interview they ask the question, what is radio bearer? What is signaling radio bearer? What is data radio bearer? What is EPS bearer? What is default EPS bearer? What is dedicated EPS bearer? See, these are the terminology related to the bearer. So we must be very clear about all these concepts. So first of all, right now we are discussing about the radio bearers, then EPS bearer will come. So in LT, there are total 11 radio bearers, RB0, RB1 till you have the total 11 radio bearers. Out of these 11 radio bearers, first 3 radio bearer, total 11 radio bearer. What is the use of radio bearer? To carry your higher layer signaling or user traffic information. So there must be some radio bearer to carry the signaling information and some radio bearer will carry the PDCP layer data. So first 3 out of these 11 radio bearer, first 3 radio bearer will be reserved for the signaling information. Means first three radio bearer out of these 11 radio bearer first three radio bearer are reserved for signaling. Radio bearer will be used to carry your higher layer, means upper layer signaling information as well as the user traffic information. So there are total 11 radio bearer, because we have seen here your radio bearer carrying the higher layer signaling, means this layer whatever the signaling has created, that signaling is transmitting, and whatever your IP packets PDC will receive, they will transmit down to the lower layer, means RLC MAC physical. So some radio will see, this radio will be used to carry the user traffic information. Some radio will be there to carry the signaling information, means layer 3 messages. So there are total 11 radio bearers. Out of 11 radio bearers, first 3 radio bearers are reserved for the signaling. First 3 radio bearers are reserved for the signaling to carry the signaling information. That's why first 3 radio bearers, more specifically, it's known as the SRB. It's called the SRB0, SRB1, SRB2. So definitely these radio bearer used to carry only signaling information. Signaling means either RRC message or NAS message. This is the 2 layer which is creating the layer 3 messages. So first 3 radio bearer used to carry the signaling information. Rest of the 8 bearer radio bearer are used to carry user traffic information. Rest of the 8 bearers carrying your data part, so that is called the BRB. Same RB, इसी RB का, this I am telling the particular name now. Rest of the 8 bearer means RB3 till RB10, that is called the DRB, data radio bearer. One second. So here you have 3 types of SRB which will carry the signaling information. SRB0, SRB1, SRB2. So SRB1 and 2. See, again I'm telling the design. When we will start the message, that I will understand what are the messages go on SRB1 or SRB2. So SRB1 and SRB2, because we have 3 SRB, SRB0, 1, 2. So out of these 3 SRB, only SRB1 and SRB2 is used to carry the NAS message. See, that's why between NAS and RRC is the SRB1, SRB2. So NAS layer will transmit any NAS layer messages either on SRB1 or SRB2, that we'll see later on when SRB1 and when SRB2 will be used between the NAS and RRC. But SRB1, SRB2 will be used to carry the NAS layer messages. Coming to the RRC layer messages, just I given the example, RRC layer create the paging message. In NAS layer, suppose if your mobile want to register with the network, it's a NAS layer who will create the attached message here. So that attached message is transmitting on SRB1. So NAS message will transmit on either SRB1 or SRB2 RRC message, this layer 3 message. Because again I'm repeating, I said clearly NAS and RRC message will be transmitted over the SRB, signaling radio bearer. So we have 3 SRB. So different SRB will be used for the different layer messages. So for RRC messages, SRB0 or SRB1 will be used. So now these RRC message coming from the PDCP to RLC. So you can say SRB0 or SRB1 will be used. And then here PDCP layer is receiving the IP packet, means user data, that will be transmit here to the RLC through the DRB. Then in future we'll see there will be, just I given it the name logical channel, but in future we'll see there are multiple logical channels which will carry the signaling information, and there will be some types of logical channel which will carry the traffic information. If you may have heard, if you have worked, you may have heard about, say, DTCH. That's a dedicated traffic channel. It's a traffic channel is that we carry your DRB information. You may have heard about DCCH, CCCH. These are all signaling information carrying. So that we'll see in the channel part, what are the different types of channel. Like that again, everywhere in the transport channel also we'll see some channel which will carry the signaling information, some channel which will carry the data information. In physical channel also the same. So like this, your information will transmit from higher layer to layer. So our target to understand concept of bearers, concept of different types of channel, which different types of control channel will carrying which different types of RRC messages, because there are so many RRC messages. So for different RRC messages, we have the different control channel. Then again, same way, that particular, suppose for example, I give an example, say for paging message. So paging message is coming. So between RLC and MAC, there will be some logical channel which will carry the paging message. Yes. Suppose, for example, if we given the paging message, so definitely it will going on some bearer, SRB. Now between RLC and MAC, there will be some logical channel which will carry this paging message. So say this is the PCCH. Between MAC and physical, same paging message, but between this layer will be known as different channels. Then we understand, okay, this is known as here PCH. Here PCCH, between MAC and physical, it's known as the PCH. Same paging message coming from higher layer to lower layer. Then how it will transmit paging message? I say physical layer will be used to transmit the higher layer information. So now physical layer will transmit this paging message over air interface to the UE physical layer. How? With the name of PDSC, physical downlink shared channel. These 3 different channel name, but at last all the channels carrying the paging message only. Then again, mobile physical will transfer to the MAC, same mapping here PCH, same PCH, PCCH, RB, SRB, SRB. Now your UERRC will receive the paging message. Like this, you have to keep the whatever, because for every message I cannot make the diagram like this, but I'll teach the all technical concept channel. But you understand, whenever I'm showing that UERRC to G node VRRCA, or maybe if you work in your different profile, you may have seen the call flow. When call flow, you may have seen, okay, UE is transmitting this message to E node V, node will transmit the message to MNV. But directly message is not transmitting like that. It will first you have to understand in that call flow how that message is transmitting layer to layer. Because in the chipset, first we have to understand those information processing, okay, how this information will transmit one layer to another layer. So to understand the flow of information within the protocol stack, we have to understand all these 3 different types of channels that will take minimum 3 to 4 classes, not one class. Then we can understand your RB and channels. Once the channels will complete, then we'll discuss about the different types of the identities, because your mobile will communicate with the network. So how network will know, okay, this particular mobile has to receive the paging message, or this particular mobile only is going to switch off or switch on. So there is some identities. So that identities we have to understand. Once we learn this basic part, then only we can move to the layers concept. Now coming to the EPS bearer, I hope now radio bearer channel. Again, channel details are still left. That 3-4 class required. Maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, channel will start. But design, I understand. I hope you understand where the radio will be there in the protocol. Where is the channel? What is their use? Now we have to understand the concept of EPS bearer. As I said, we have to understand what is the radio bearer, what is signaling radio bearer, what is data radio bearer, what is EPS bearer, what is default EPS bearer, what is dedicated EPS bearer. So now coming to the EPS bearer. So you understand one thing, your channels and radio bearers that will be used to transmit the information over air interface that is used to transmit the information over air interface. But you understand one thing, if your connection has established between UE to E node B, only UE to E node B, then can we transmit your in-to-in data? Can we communicate with other user? No, because to establish your in-to-in session, because UE to E node B, this session is not enough to transmit or to establish the in-to-in session. In-to-in session means your data will transmit UE, E node B to serving gateway to PDN gateway. Then only your in-to-in session is getting established. So radio bearer channel is used to only communicate between your UE and E node B. This is use of radio bearer channel. But how your in-to-in data will transmit? So that's why don't please get confused with the radio bearer and EPS bearer. Most people they think both are same. Both are different things. Radio bearer is responsible to transmit your information between UE to E node B. What about your in-to-in session UE? Because your information, whatever the user, if suppose you want to chat with your friend, so your data will transmit from UE E node B to serving gateway to PDN gateway, as I told you in your network architecture. So EPS bearer is used to carry your in-to-in data. Means once your in-to-in session will be established, it means EPS bearer is ready, and EPS bearer is used to carry your in-to-in data. Once in-to-in session has established, then EPS bearer, it means EPS bearer is ready to carry end-to-end data. So EPS bearer is now two types. EPS bearer is of two types. So two types. Default EPS bearer EPS bearer is that EPS bearer, this is your logical concept. EPS bearer means EPS bearer means what? Your UE to E node B, carrying the data through the DRB, data radio bearer. E node B to serving gateway, that is your S1 bearer, S5 to S serving gateway to PDN gateway, S5 bearer. All this combination is known as the EPS bearer. Because you know that your last class I told in the network architecture, your end-to-end system is known as the EPS. See, I told you that complete end-to-end system is, this is EPC, but your LT plus SAE, I told this is called the EPS, if you remember. So your DRV use only to carry this information here only. Then your S1 bearer, then S5 plus S8 bearer, corresponding between the entities. All these combinations is known as the EPS bearer. Clear? So there are two types of EPS bearer, default EPS bearer and dedicated EPS bearer. Now, the first bearer means your mobile will attach with the PDN gateway. Means suppose your mobile switch on, then obviously in NAS layer procedure will start attach procedure. What is attach procedure? That will see NAS layer in that call flow. But once your mobile will attach with the network, means your PDN gateway, your PDN connectivity is attached, your end-to-end session has established. So please remember, once your end-to-end session has established, the first bearer will be allocated to the user will be the default EPS bearer, compulsory for every user. Once you switch your mobile and you attach with the network, so the first bearer, because attached to the PDN means what? Your end-to-end session has ready. So once your end-to-end session has ready, the first bearer allocated to the user will be the default EPS bearer. Because ये भी क्वेश्चन पूछा हुआ इंटरव्यू में कि which bearer between default and dedicated EPS bearer, which bearer is having the higher priority. So generally people think dedicated EPS bearer having the higher data rate, it can carry more amount of traffic. So they may think dedicated EPS bearer have higher priority. No. Default EPS bearer will have higher priority. Why? So this is guaranteed, no exception. The first bearer allocated to the UE will be the default EPS bearer. Yes, Sumit. What I'm telling, once your mobile will on, then definitely you will register with the network. Means you will register with the MME. So once your mobile will on, your mobile will register with the MME. Then for end-to-end session, as I said, it's a serving gateway job who will create the bearer table. It's a PDN gateway job who will define the QoS of those bearer table. So this is called the PDN connectivity. Your mobile PDN connectivity means you will be registered with the PDN. So this is called the end-to-end session. So as the part of attached procedure, your mobile have to register with the PDN. That's called the PDN connectivity. So once your UE will registered with the network, means the with the PDN, means end-to-end session has established. So once end-to-end session will establish, then EPS bearer will be ready. So which EPS bearer? So that I'm telling, the first EPS bearer allocated to the UE will be definitely default EPS bearer. First of all, when your end-to-end session ready, the first bearer means EPS bearer allocated to the UE will be the default EPS bearer. Clear, Suman? Please explain what is. What is the difference between end-to-end session and end-to-end? End-to-end session means only end-to-end, because session established only data will be transmitted. No? Means both are same thing. End-to-end session will be established. Session established means your bearer will be ready. So bearer will be ready, then only data will transmit. No? To transmit end-to-end data means end-to-end session is required. Nancy, clear? So now your first bearer that is given allocated to the UE will be the default TPS bearer, and this default TPS bearer is also capable to carry a small amount of data. So the first bearer, first EPS bearer allocated to any user will be default EPS bearer. Compulsory. This default EPS bearer is also capable to carry a small amount of data. So how much data it can carry? So that is the job of your PGN gateway that will define that PS parameter. So default EPS bearer is capable to carry small amount of input data. Now suppose for example your mobile register, your mobile attached with network. Now you're using only gmail.com for example. You're just chatting, text chat on the WhatsApp. So this is very small amount of data. So depends upon your service request. Again, it's a PDN gateway and serving gateway that will decide for this service should we allocate any additional bearer or this default EPS bearer is capable. So as I'm telling, suppose now you're using the WhatsApp, they understand, okay, this default EPS bearer is fine. But say after some time now you want to watch a live IPL match. This is live streaming. So depends upon your request now, it's a PDN gateway. Serving gateway, they will decide no. Default EPS bearer, their QS parameter will not match with the standard of the service of the live streaming. Unique data which can be carried by the unit of data which can be carried by default one. What is? I'm not understanding your question, Suman. क्या बोल रहे हो? Unique data which can be carried means that's I say na. Just before you asking, I say if that is the PDN gateway will decide. Your UE will not decide. Depends upon your UE service request whether you whatever service you're using that is coming under which QCI, because your entire LTE services will come defined under 9 QCI, 9 quality of service class identifier. So your services are coming under which QCI? QCI 1 to QCI 9. Based on that, your QS parameter is defined. That you cannot fix. Why? Depends upon your situations. Suppose right now, for example, in your daytime, in right now, for example, in the morning 10, 11 o'clock, more number of users are surfing. So that time your maximum amount of allowed data on the default will be different compared to suppose in night time. Entire resource are free. So that is the dynamically they have to manage. That is your difference between your LT and your earlier legacy technology. Here they cannot fix. Here your resource will manage very dynamically. Depends upon the congestion, depends upon the resource. Suman, clear? So now suppose what I'm doing, so this bearer default bearer. Now I said suppose after some time you want to use the live streaming, then it's a PDN gateway decided, okay, for this services we need the additional bearer. So each UE will have only one default TPS bearer per PDN, only one, more than one default TPS bearer per PDN. Just use my remember my sentence, I'm telling per PDN. So each UE will have only one default TPS bearer per PDN. More than one default EPS bearer is not possible for any user. Only one default EPS bearer per PDN can be allocated. After then, if any additional bearer is required, then dedicated bearer will be allocated. This additional bearer is called the dedicated bearer. Means suppose, say I just now give an example. Suppose you're using the gmail.com example. Let's say suppose you allocate the default. Initially you attach with the network, you get the default TPS bearer. On the default your gmail.com will say mail you're transmitting. After some time you now start to watch the live streaming. For that they allocate one dedicated bearer, say D1. After some time you want to use the WhatsApp. This Gmail live streaming plus WhatsApp. Now again it's a PDN gateway. When we'll see the nice layer procedure, that time it become more clear. It's a again PDN gateway. Now they have options. Suman, please understand. For this new service, should we allocate one more dedicated bearer, because there can be more than one dedicated bearer. Maximum 8 dedicated bearer network can allocate. Default will be only one. So it's a PDN gateway. They will decide whether they should allocate again one more dedicated bearer, means D2, or this current dedicated bearer should be upgraded. Upgraded means suppose earlier this live streaming they given in the QS3 parameters, suppose QCI 3. They given the, please understand. So their maximum amount of data is not fixed. Their QCI is fixed. If this services they given, when they give the dedicated bearer, they say okay, this will belong to QCI 3. Suppose when they locate the live streaming, based on this QCI, your GVR, MBR, maximum bitrate, everything is defined. What is the maximum bitrate they given? Now when you have to use again third service along with gmail.com live stream, you want to use WhatsApp. Again now PDN gateway had two options. Option 1, either upgrade this existing dedicated bearer, means upgrade this existing QCI to move from QCI 3 to QCI 2, same dedicated bearer, but move to the update the existing dedicated bearer. And based on the QCI 2, now you'll get the new QS parameter, it's now new data rate. Or should we allocate any new dedicated bearer for this service? Let's say dynamically it's a PDN gateway will manage, depends upon the load on them. So what they have to do depends upon your amount of traffic, depends upon your kind of services. Suppose along with the live, it might be possible this in WhatsApp, they can run on the same dedicated bearer, because in WhatsApp again the chat message, text message. But now again live streaming, along with that you're playing live online game with your friend. Again live online game means what? If you're playing the car racing game with your friend, means the time your whatever the reaction you're performing to your car, your friend must have to see in another internet. If you're playing chess with your friend live online game, so whatever your reaction is performing, that your friend may understand, your friend may observe at the same time immediately. That is one live game. So need the more data rate here. Here we need the better QS. So for this it may possible that network can locate one more dedicated bearer. Yes, based on the service. So your entire LTE services will define this 9 QCI, and each QCI will have their own properties. because based on the QCI, your QS parameter will be defined, your data rate, see the guaranteed bit rate, non-guaranteed bit rate, ये सब आगे आएंगे तो हम लोग नया सिलेक्ट करेंगे. Clear? Is it okay? Hello? So from here onward, now we'll continue tomorrow. Still it's not completed. Tomorrow we'll see even more concept about the dedicated VRF. So from here we'll continue tomorrow. And Neha, as I spoke to you, you want to finish early. So from Monday onward, you have to attend 2 batches. 6:30 to 7:30 and then 7:40, because 7:40 RLC level will start. So if you can manage the 2 class, you can manage. As you said, you want to finish early, if I remember you spoke to me. So then you can decide. If you have time, 7:40, you can update to Shruti. So 7:40 morning, Monday, RLC will start. Not for everyone, I'm telling, actually C has to finish early. So for that I'm telling. Okay, Neha, is it fine? चलो, okay, we'll see tomorrow.